So this pumpkin is filled with a mixture of bell peppers and red onions with a red curry sauce. And oh, I'm going to talk about CSI, the Las Vegas one, season 6, because I'm working my way through the seasons there. And I was going to sing my song Mid-October Sweet Peas, but I'll sing it to the sweet peas later, I decided. But I brought what poetry I was writing while I was watching CSI, the 6th season, and I wrote quite a lot this morning. But then I noticed that I'd found I noticed this song that I'll put my songs on the cue cards before I sing them, because it's easier this way. And I noticed this. I had, like in the summer, I was writing a lot of songs and rushing out to go, like I'd find a flower and I'd be like, okay, I found this flower blooming, so I better write this song and get out there and sing to this flower or whatever. And this red-breasted nuthatch was one of the things. It was not a flower, it's a little bird, but it kept showing up to have dinner with us.
Is that the nice little one?
Yeah, the nice little one.
I'd forgotten it was red-breasted.
Yeah.
I just see that it's very similar to the nuthatches we see out in
well, we
the
see
river
a
bottom.
couple.
Are those red-breasted ones?
Yeah, we see red-breasted too.
I just don't notice the red-breast. Yeah, usually they're just kind of hanging a little bit low.
Yeah, they're the little ones. The other ones are
branch.
bigger. The nuthatches we see. But these, anyway, so there's this, usually they're very shy, the red-breasted ones.
But sweet.
Very sweet. Very sweet little birds. And so when we're out feeding the birds by hand, the red-breasted, they don't come, but they come very close. You know, they like to watch, and then we'll put the seed out and they go for the seed that's down. They don't want to go into our hands, which is great.
Or they're waiting for us to go as well.
Yeah. So they, whereas the chickadees, they're not shy at all. You know, they're right there. And
it's shocking, you know, like when I first saw them hovering around down in the river bottom. I must be imagining things, you know, like being sentimental.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too much later. We were down, and for some reason or another, was it me that held out my hand? And
Well,
one came
yeah,
down?
we were looking at the fruit, I think, on the bush, on the berry bush. The bird's right there. The bird wanted to, like, oh, do you have something other than the berries? You know, they were busy eating the berries, but
well,
willing to.
I figured nuts go with fruit really well.
Sure, maybe that's what they were hoping for.
Trying
a
to
little
balance
mixture.
their diet.
So anyway, I have a little song here, and I don't have a tune for it. I just happened to find it. So I have a lot of songs right now. I'm trying to put them away because I know that I won't find certain flowers or whatever that I'd hoped to find for this season. You know, it'll be until next year. I'll be looking for them, and so I'm putting them in my cue card boxes when I find them. And now I'm like, oh man, I've made everything's so clustered around. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep track of everything, but that's okay. So
Did you try to file them alphabetically or something like that?
no, I have a very different filing system.
At least you're filing, you know?
It's not. It's according to I do it according to which book my plant identification book and which page number they're on, right? So if I'm looking at the
book?
If I'm looking at the book that's the Yob Kite one, then it will be alphabetical according to the genus name, because that's how he has things arranged. But others do not. And I actually prefer the ones that don't.
Well, some go
when
by
you're trying
color.
to find,
or
exactly,
whatever.
because when you don't know the plants yet,
do you
when
look
you're
for
just learning them, then it can be really difficult to be able to tell certain plants, to be able to say, oh, I recognize that that's a part of that genus, so I'm going to look, right? You go by the color, you go, oh, it's a pink flower, and you go looking through the pink flowers, right? So anyway, so that's how I have my songs organized. And I'm going to try something different we'll see. I'm thinking of organizing flowers according to elevation of
Okay.
where I will find them.
So you can put them
Yeah.
in for certain walks.
Yeah, and so then I can, you know, I can have elevation and then chop it up from there, right? Because there's some things like the alpine poppy, you know where you found that, and you know that's the only place you're going to find it. You're not going to find it down low, it's going to be way up high. So, you know, it might help me that way.
The walk that might give the
And it might
biggest
help other people.
best cross section would be the yeah.
Carthew Alderson.
Well, that would give it
Yeah.
awesome. But the big trouble is, yeah, I guess.
Because yeah, I was thinking of
coming down to the
organizing them
campsite.
according to the trail, but then you have trails like Carthew Alderson. It's like, well, you just go through the whole range.
You
of
got
things,
everything,
right?
Yeah, well,
Pretty much. Everything but
You
the
start-
prairie kind of level.
relatively high, but you come down
Yeah,
close to prairie level.
close to. So anyway, here's my song Red-Breasted Nuthatch Dinner Date, which I wrote April 16th, 2023. So this one's been hanging around a while. And he likes the food that I'm making. And I'm making a new kind of bird seed lately, which I got a tip from a bird guy. I think it's Scott from Bird Watchers or something like that. I can't remember what his website is, but he gives different bird tips, and I was thinking, I like feeding the birds at home, but I had put the bird seed out the window seat on the deck here, and then it attracts mice this time of year to come in, and I don't want them in. So I'm always telling
those are
yes, and so I'm always telling my angels, please, my angels, tell the mouse's angels that he has to leave my house because I don't want to kill the mouse, but I will catch and kill the mouse if the mouse is in my house. So please tell the mouse's angels to.
We were just
and
one.
then usually that works.
Or an elderly couple.
Yeah.
I'd put up on them gladly, really. They'd be like pets.
Sure.
But they have so many kids.
Exactly. So they can't stay
everywhere.
They can't stay. So this has worked for me lately. I've been asking my angels to help me, and they have been communicating with the mouse's angels, and the mice go out. So I haven't had to get the peanut butter set up and the traps and stuff because I hate doing it. I don't want to have to kill mice. I actually like them. They're
They
nice
really
little
are cute.
people. Yeah.
I
But
got a
it's
whole
happy
different
to-
take on mice. We had a nice little gerbil.
We had a
called
gerbil.
Jerry the gerbil. Was
yeah.
it Jerry his name?
Yeah, I'm not very creative with my name. You are.
I can be, but at any rate, he got loose one time. And I was sitting on the Pauline's golden sofa one evening. I think Pauline was working in Manitoba or something like that at that point in time. So I couldn't call her to shore, but
No, I
Jerry?
think I was there.
Yeah.
I seem to remember it, or maybe you just described it so perfectly that
described it. Well.
I can picture it.
it's memorable.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I saw a mouse, like they've got really sharp, pointed noses. At first, I thought it was Jerry. And I'm going, that's not his pointed nose.
Yeah.
And then Jerry came out.
And they were
He was
playing
loose.
with each
They
other.
were playing around.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Jerry escaped, to play around.
Probably
with the
did,
mice.
yes.
That was so
But
cute.
Anyway. Oh,
Jerry
if you
was
want
such a
a
good
rodent
guy.
as a pet, gerbils are the way to go. They are so sweet. They're wonderful pets. I don't know why people bother with hamsters. Hamsters are awful little things. Their bite hurts so bad.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
way that parents
They're
teach their
skunks.
children to hate rodents, I think.
Poor Jerry.
But
I-
gerbils are great.
One time when Pauline was up working in Grand Prairie one summer, I heard a clunk.
Yeah.
And then
Well, he was old. He had
days
gray hairs and
later,
stuff.
he's not coming up to get food. And Pauline had a nice
Yeah,
big
'cause
cage for him.
James would feed him through
Where
the
is
bars
he?
by
Where is
hand.
he? Where is he? And then I looked
All
in
sorts of
the
nuts and stuff.
water dish, and I think what had happened to Thump was he'd fallen,
Yeah.
knocked himself out in the water dish, and that was it. He
Yeah,
just
because I
drowned.
had him at the bottom his cage was actually the bottom of a gigantic bird cage that I had. And I had finches up top, so I had Finchy, son of Finchy, and his little wife up top, and then who met a terrible end. And I think Jerry
Finchy?
had something to do with it. No, Finchy's wife.
Oh, yeah.
She disappeared.
Jerry was friendly with folks of his own time.
Yeah.
But, Pauline had Finchy in the same cage.
Yeah.
And we'd lay around, seed around. There was kind of like a place where
they had their own food
stuff.
dishes too, that up top, but they probably went down to where you were feeding Jerry and checked out what
so
you were
I'd feed Jerry, but
Yeah.
they'd come down for it. I wasn't intending to tempt them down
No,
or
no.
anything like that, but they'd come down, and Jerry was wanting to catch them, right? Missed every time, so far as I know,
Well,
but it was
I don't
close
see as
sometimes.
much. Yeah.
Close. And the Finches loved Jerry.
Yeah, they did.
When
was
he
like
got
their
loose,
pet.
they'd come out and look, all that sort of stuff, or they'd look at him down below in the cage, and I was going, you guys don't realize. They were too fast for him. Maybe
Yeah.
they thought he was playing with them or something like that.
Well, maybe
Well-
he thought he was playing with them. I mean, you don't know, right?
It's hard to say.
But then once they get caught and they go, oh, you taste good.
But Jerry loved our then dog, Tornado.
Yeah.
He'd come and stand on this ledge. There was wood here and then cage. And of course the ledge was on the
that's how
inside.
Finchy, son of Finchy met us in, because he loved Tornado.
Exactly
Remember?
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm describing.
Yeah.
He'd come out and watch Tornado,
Oh, he thought he was great.
and then
And I think
Finchy
Tornado
got loose.
just thought he was playing.
Finchy got loose, and we didn't find hide nor feather of him.
No. But I found a little bit of blood on
On a
the
chair.
papasan on the arm part of it, like
And
the edge of it.
So Finchy probably just didn't realize, what are you doing? Like that hurts. I can remember
it
one
wouldn't
time.
have hurt for long.
No, it wouldn't have. But, Tornado, I can remember one time he's playing with a grasshopper. And they just kept playing, and the grasshopper got so tired, it died. And Tornado couldn't believe it, that it still didn't want to play with him. He might have been very sad.
He
but
probably
when
was.
Finchy
He
went,
loved
because
Finchy too.
it wouldn't have been a lot of food to eat, but he would have eaten the food up.
Yeah, there wouldn't be much there if
No.
Finchy was such a little guy.
Anyway, Finchy lasted a long, long time.
Yeah.
Generally, our pets last a long, long time. I can remember I'd take care of Pauline's geckos
Oh, the leopard
while she was
geckos.
gone.
Yeah, they were very
And I
old.
didn't like it because I had to feed them grasshoppers.
Yeah.
And I feel for grasshoppers. I feel for whatever. But at any rate,
They were at least
I'd
20 years old.
feed them. Well, actually, they'd eat the grasshoppers by themselves, but they got the one died. It's kind of, I think it was eaten by the other, but maybe it
What?
died in the
No,
sea.
it wasn't.
Okay,
I-
the second one,
No,
what
I
happened to
buried
it?
it. No,
Okay.
It died. It was
Okay, it died.
older. The first one died because it was older, and then the next one died. But you were trying for so long to keep.
It didn't last. Well, I was trying because I fed it by hand.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, they'd go after it
The
lasted so long,
crickets and-
I thought that's the way I fed them regularly.
Yeah.
But no. She got cataract. She couldn't see them. But so I'd have to put them up against her mouth, and then she'd eat them. Pauline was thinking of exposing her, but
Well, I tried actually. I put her outside, and I just couldn't do it.
yeah. So brought her back in, and I kept feeding her, and eventually she couldn't or didn't want to eat. So we
Yeah.
put her outside. I mean, if she can't eat, she might as well be outside.
No, she just died. That's why she ended up going out there, because she died. You couldn't get her to eat anymore.
I couldn't. I thought we'd let her out there, but anyway,
No, we
she died somewhere along the line. So anyway,
I mean, she did go outside eventually to be buried.
okay, I'd kind of forgotten about
Yeah.
that side of it because I didn't handle the burial.
No, I don't like it.
But
I don't like it.
generally, our animals last a long time.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of bad luck with them. there was a stretch there with dogs where it was
Yep.
not so good. But now, recently, we've had two
Yeah,
elderly
the
ones
COVID
who've
stretch.
developed.
There were some bad times.
No, I'm talking about
What?
the Chihuahuas, right? Tank
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah, that was prior then.
well, exactly
That was
right.
prior.
So that
So
was.
kind of stretched over.
But we've the one since, and like the Paris was the first Chihuahua we got, and she lost her hearing, she lost her sight. And she'd fall downstairs. I think she'd forgotten where to go out the changed, so they went out the front door to go.
So then I just put her in I put her bed and stuff in the bathroom because
She was having
I
trouble
could close her in
incontinence
there.
or whatever.
It was easier. She wouldn't have known where she was anyway.
Probably not.
It seemed
Anyway,
like
she
she
had,
kinda lost her
I
mind.
figured, a heart attack or something
Yeah.
like that. So she lasted a really, really long time.
But anyway, all of this down talking about death, I don't want it.
Oh.
I'm going to talk about this red-breasted nuthatch dinner date. There's a red-breasted nuthatch that joins us for lunch almost daily for almost a week. I've grown used to him now and I like him a bunch, since this nuthatch is not really meek. He comes close to us while we're enjoying our meal, so I've taken to leaving him seed. I don't know what he thinks, but I certainly feel that he brings me the joy that I need. That's all I have.
Oh, it's a very good song.
It could be longer, but I don't know what else to put with it.
Well,
so that's it right now.
We'll have other adventures.
Yeah.
Eventually, he might come down, or he or she might come down.
Well, yeah, I don't know the difference between the sexes.
Yeah.
They look the same to me.
It's amazing how some birds can be that way. Other
And
birds
other
can be
look
like
so
peacocks.
different. Yeah, exactly.
I think ostriches have somewhat of a differentiation.
I mean, they can tell the difference, so there must be a difference, but I don't know if it's in terms of call that they tell, or if they can actually see it too. So maybe,
They must have
maybe
some
we just
sort of
haven't
sense
paid
of smell, don't they? Nostrils?
Oh, well, it could be that too. Yeah.
Hard to say.
Anyway, so I don't have anything else to talk about really. I was going to say that with the CSI season 6, boy, did we ever stop watching CSI by that point. I only remember
You don't
watching
remember?
four episodes from that season. That was the one where Lady Heather, her daughter dies, and
Who's the Lady Heather?
the dominatrix lady.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And so she's like whipping the guy and stuff. And there's the episode with the little girl that claimed that she'd done the murder that her brother had done.
I forgot. I can kind of remember the dominatrix. Did she kind of jump in and out of the plot as well?
Yeah, she did. I like that. I like that they weaved her in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's
It's
a good
just
character.
yeah.
You don't like
I
it.
don't like talking about dead animals and S&M. It's almost distasteful.
Yeah, okay, so it's not a great deck dinner talk for you. Yeah.
Well, at least when we talk about the animals, we're talking about good times too.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's funny because
S&M.
yeah. My
Not good
like
times.
you said
Maybe
the
there's
first
something.
thing James came over and said was I'm feeling really good, and if the weather keeps up, we're going to go for a hike in Waterton. So James is feeling well enough now that he thinks he can do it, and we'll see.
Handle it, easy
And
path.
I knew
don't want to
something
be
good was
on
coming.
a narrow path because I'm still a little bit
Yeah.
wavery, lightheaded.
But my angels told me today, enjoy divine abundance, feed your heart, enjoy infinite abundance, know that love is the key, feel rich, give your imagination free rein, and say goodbye to guilt. And so I knew something awesome was coming today. So we're going to go to Waterton.
Well, So we should still have a week or two of weather.
Yes. So we're gonna try to get some hardcore fall hiking done, because we've been out of commission for hiking for a while. First my back was too bad, and then James was too sick, and we
I
missed
was pretty bad.
so much of my favorite time of year for hiking.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about skeeters.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Fall
cooler.
is the best time. You have to worry about like pay attention to the wind and stuff like that, and the location. Is this a prime berry location? You might not, if the berries are still out and the wind is blowing your scent
Away from a bear.
yeah, so that the bear can't sense that you're coming near that bear, then you might have an encounter that you would rather not have. But aside from that, fall is the best time for hiking. It really is. It's awesome. Just pick a day that without high wind speed, and you're good to go.
Well, no hiking in the flat, but we're talking about the mountains.
Yeah, but it's still not fun hiking with a high wind speed, even if when it's flat. But when you're
Especially
up high,
when you got a bad
it's
back.
suicidal.
You'll
Honestly,
find,
to like try doing ridge hikes and stuff like that. I don't know why people do it when it's windy. Don't. Wait for a different day. Do something else instead. There's lots of wonderful hikes to do. So, yeah, we'd missed out. If you want to look for flowers and stuff like that, well, now is not the time. But there still are some. We'll still find some, but it's not the best time to look for flowers in the mountain parks, for
There
sure.
are amazingly great times.
Yes.
If you kind of stagger the walks, it seems like the majority of summer you can get some pretty good flowers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're out there thinking, okay, well, I want to see lots and lots of flowers, like a big bridal bouquet, and okay, so go at the beginning of July or whatever. But if you want to see specific types of flowers, they're going to be going at different times of the summer. So you'll have to go, there's some flowers that they'll be done really early in the spring. They bloom right after the snow melt, and then they're gone. So you got to see those ones at that time, right? And then, so you just have to know, okay, where am I going to look for these flowers? And so, but don't worry about that right now. Worry about just getting out there and hiking, and getting some mileage going up various elevations and whatever.
Now we've got an advantage here in
Some
Lethbridge.
fresh mountain air.
Because if you pick your time, like sometimes the ground is clear and you can actually walk in the city. It gets relatively clear. One time we went down to Waterford this past week in the middle of winter.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't have done it hiking. We went
No.
and saw the falls.
Yeah, we did. It was beautiful. And everything looked very gray, like shades of gray. It was very black and white. It was after the fire. It was the first time we hiked there after the fire. And there was still a lot of burnt. And so it was just the snow, the different shades of the snow, and then the shades of the blackened tree trunks and stuff like that, right?
Very stark.
Yeah, it was beautiful though.
It was.
Yeah.